it's time now to do a very complicated step. I'm going to actually split this step up into 2 videos. And what we are going to be doing is we're going to be gluing the boots to the back of the paper, all right? And I'm going to show you the type of folding that you're going to have to do, but you're going to have to practice. Don't worry if you actually have to rip off a boot and put a new one on. I'll have some extras in your kit, because this is one of the tricky parts of the process. I think there are at least 2. One is, well, 3. One is the whole sewing, including the, and then on top of that is the knot making. That isn't part of the sewing. That is part of the sewing. And then this little fold right here is particularly tricky. So this is where I would use a brush, and I would use white glue. Now, just make sure it's PVA. A lot of white glue is PVA, but you just need to make sure. Hollanders is actually a bookbinding company in Michigan. Website is hollanders.com with no apostrophe but 2 L's. Hollanders with an S at the end, .com. Excellent place for book supplies. At least for the glue. I get glue, I get end bands there, I make my own text block, I make my own boards and all that, but I do appreciate their PVA glue. And I do use the brush for this, but if you have Elmer's white glue and just a cheap, paintbrush, that'll be fine too, And I will put the glue on it in a little bit and demonstrate the fold, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do this as a dry run so you can see the folding. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to work on the back end. You're going to have to fold that one in, and then you're going to have to fold this in too, but as you fold that second part in, you're going to have to push this in a little bit. You see that? You're going to push it in, and you're going to make a little wrinkle in there so that when this comes over, it comes over in the manner in which there is a little slant inward for the fold, so that as the book moves in and out of the shelf and it is handled by people, there is no edge running right along, there is no paper edge of the boot running right along that cover edge that would get caught and eventually pull away. So you want that slant coming in. Now, if you're not very careful with that, you might fold it and then just kind of crimp it and fold it in, and you see, of course, that is unacceptable. There's a lot of overhanging there with that boot. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to fold it, and then you're going to have to learn how to push that part of the paper in, and then push that little wrinkle right there up in with your nail in and then down, and you see how now there is no overhang. In fact, there's a slant in. Okay, so that's the fold. I'm going to demonstrate it again with the other cover, and then I'm going to stop the video. The second video will actually show you how I do this on the run, if you will, with wet glue. And okay, so to make these folds again, I start with the finger edge one and I fold it in, and then right there, that little bend at the top, I push in. I just straight up push in, and then it's going to give me a little flap right in there that I can bring up over, and I can tuck that in and I can pull this down. There you go, see? So I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to work with the finger edge. I push it in. I push this in a little bit. I got my little flap right there. I bring it up with my fingernail, tuck it in, bring this down, and there it is. I have that fold coming inside at an angle. Perfect.